Hi, my name's Amir. Our vision is to build disciples that represent Jesus to everyone, everywhere, with everything. And when we can do that together, then we will see an everyday church, a Christ-centered gathered church, a local church, a global church, and an empowering church. But let's have a look at your own life. And here's a tool that can help you picture your own unique discipleship journey. Why don't we start with your everyone? So who are the people that you mix with more often than not? First of all, for most people, it's their family members, the people that they actually work with, their work colleagues, perhaps people that are in their sporting clubs. You're a keen golfer and you're part of a golf club. There's a whole group of people in there. And what about the people that you meet just as in neighborhood? And perhaps you're a keen shopper, so it might be the people that you shop with, maybe those in Chadstone. So your Chadstone shopping crew. Next, let's consider your everywhere. Through your life, where are the places that you spend most amount of time or places that you frequent most often? For a lot of people, it may be their workplaces. Their sporting clubs, church, perhaps for some people it's places that they shop in their neighborhood. Next, let's consider your everything. Now, your everything are all the gifts, talents, opportunities and resources that have been given to you. For many people, it's their money. Perhaps you've got talents. And also maybe the skills that you have. Sometimes it's your resources that you may have, which could be your home, your car, or even things like your own sexuality. Because this is all part of your everything. Galatians 2:20 says, I've been crucified with Christ. It's no longer I who live, but Christ who lives in me. The life I now live in the body, I live by faith in the Son of God, who loved me and gave himself for me. So if we look at our life, Galatians 2:20, saying Christ is in our life. If we look at our whole life, our everyone, our everywhere, and our everything, where is Christ in those areas? For instance, amongst maybe our everyone, our church friends, Christ is probably seen there. So wherever Christ is seen and people can see Christ in you and through you and you're representing Jesus, put a cross. Perhaps some areas of my life amongst my families, maybe I'm showing Christ. What about my everywhere? The places I'm at. As I'm in those places, am I representing Jesus? Am I listening to him? Am I making myself available to minister to the people which I may know or not know in those places? At shopping centers, for instance, places of that kind. So maybe here, while I'm at church, I'm representing Jesus. But are there other areas? Where else could it be seen? Now consider your everything. Where is Christ represented? How much of my everything does Christ actually have? Again, put a cross in the areas which he has. Perhaps, for instance, my talents. I'm using my talents to serve in the church. I'm using my talents in ministry areas. Maybe I'm a musician and I'm on the worship team. I enjoy and have that gift for children, and I'm in the kids' church, and he's been seen there. Perhaps there's other areas of my life, maybe my money. I can freely make my money available to God to serve both people within the church and those who are far from Jesus as well, and I might put something in there. But if we're really honest, we'll probably find areas where Christ is not obviously seen through my life, or areas of my life that I struggle to surrender to him. So if Christ is not in a particular area, then something or someone else is. So I like using the analogy of a throne. So if we look at an area, maybe with my neighbors, if Christ is not seen in that area, Christ is not enthroned in that area, then something else is. And more often than not, it's actually me. Christ is somewhere else. See, the process of discipleship is in the areas where Christ is not enthroned, is for me to get off the throne and for Christ to get onto the throne. So it's a process of going from that to that, where Christ sits on the throne, and then I'm serving Him. And as we begin to look at all the areas of our life, considering the places where Christ is not enthroned, and begin with the help of the Holy Spirit to recognize and replace, put Christ on the throne and me off, gradually more and more of our lives, Christ will be represented. And here, for the example of my neighbors, if Christ is enthroned in this area of my life, not only will that impact the relationship that I have with my neighbors, but Christ will be able to be seen through me to them. Now this journey, it's not a 5-minute exercise, it's a lifetime. But it's a gradual journey. As long as we're intentional, we're constantly seeking God, we're constantly reviewing our circle, seeing where is Jesus enthroned and where is He not, and where He's not, we intentionally come to Him and surrender those areas. And gradually, more and more, Jesus will be seen through our everyone, our everywhere, and our everything.